Hello, Silvana.
Hey, hello, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that I got insanely confused. I'm so sorry.
This,
That's why you texted me. Are you there? And I was like, yes. And I was like, why he's not saying anything? And then I continued with my life. And now I realize when you asked me that. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I was on Facebook, but doing something else. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, today in the midnight. And
this is beautiful. Now we can make this extra series happen on top of all the really funny interruption we had earlier this afternoon.
yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's why he stopped replying. But I was like, why he's not saying anything? But now I understand why. Because I'm so sorry.
To
Yes.
make it official, I have to say these words. Hello, everyone. This is the lunch break. Welcome. Welcome, Silvana.
Thank you.
Silvana
Thanks
Hurtado.
for inviting me. Yes.
I'm happy to include your voice and your image. This afternoon we had only voice. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yes. Yeah. I'm a bit tired, but everything goes really well. I was prepared for tonight, so it's nice. Well, not tonight, but well, the misunderstanding time. But yes. Yeah.
The series has ended. I
Yeah.
mean, will end after this recording. I will publish this one too,
Okay.
completely. And just before I entered, I had the idea of perhaps reading out loud the names of all the people who contributed, which
Okay.
will which gives you a nice idea of the weight of this series. And it was a series of 5 plus this one 6
Mhm.
um, editions. The first one was on April 1st on 12 o'clock at noon. And that's where the misunderstanding started, because a friend of mine said, you made the Facebook event, you made it at midnight.
Mhm.
I was confused about 12 p.m. being 12 a.m.
Yeah.
So then this tiny idea became bigger, and we started mixing it one time at midday, one time at midnight.
Wow.
1st April, the participants were Vee Verachtert and Matthias Kuipers. We
Mhm.
did a wrestling game. Milan Gilliard, who pre-recorded something and was interrupted by Janne Baatse, very funny, in a very funny way. Lieven Segers plus a mystery guest. Rashi Nigam was intended, Rashi Nigam, sorry. Then Jannes van Arkel and Willemijn Besteman.
Mhm.
Sebastian Ferran, Jeroen Bouwriks. There was a contribution by Bettina Bruder. Louisa Soipi did an intervention. Hendrike van Dijk also asked a question. And then I concluded with a video myself. And then I thought, I will always try to conclude every
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
The second time was Thursday, 15 April at
Mhm.
midnight. And the participants were Julie van der Vaart.
Mhm.
And something went wrong with the recording. So I had her recorded without sound, and I couldn't include her voice somehow, but she didn't mind. And her question was, why does it need to be so complicated to pay an external at school?
Yeah.
That was the essence of her question.
Mhm.
Then we continued with Lorenzo Rietveld, a question via, some people just sent me a question because they couldn't attend or weren't able to attend live.
Mhm.
Bettina Bruder again participated, Mike Mone, Jolien Pittoors, Darren Vertanian from LA, Ilse
Mhm.
Jonke from her bedroom, Tom Lambeens from the Ardennes sent me also this message. Miriam Dam was part of the audience and still was part of the conversation. Andrea Pachotto in Seoul, Glenn Cox in Hasselt, Mia Bak in Seoul, and myself again. I showed this screening of a video called Manifesto by Anna Jort Gutu, which was really interesting. Then the third edition was Saturday, May 1 at noon. And the participants were Emma Nuchelmans and Sophie Goossens together, questioning something really interesting. And then were responded by Karl Haase and Carina Gosselin, Martin Born from Helsinki, Stefanie de Bakker, Steph Lemons and Elke Kuppens. Again, they did a wrestling game, very dangerous. Ignace Camille, Hugo Rinaldi from somewhere in Brazil, Simon Davis from Eindhoven, then Sylvia Adriana Hulshoff, Sebastian González de Gortari, Emre Bektas from somewhere in Turkey, and Sebastian from somewhere in Mexico, but he is now in Germany. And again, I concluded with a video by Kinshasa's Music Warriors. And then previous time, not today, but previous time, Thursday 13, again at midnight, the participants were Karen Peule and Sarah Bashour. You mentioned had something to do with the soundtrack or something. Arne de Winde, Eleni Kama from Greece, but now somewhere in Maastricht. Sarah Bomans contributed with something she sent. Fabian Seibert, Emma Ribbons, and then Alem Magendan and Jamie Lebleu. Then Sophie Stichnot and Bettina Habib. Before I also again contributed with a selection of a screening. And then today you saw a contribution by Jana Baatsen, who questions the question. We had Juan Pablo Valadez, who is now somewhere in North Italy, but comes from Guadalajara, I think, in Mexico.
Yes, Guadalajara in Mexico.
And then Carina Rosselet with her alter ego, Carina with a Q. Steve Squan, who is also an alter ego, sent his illustration. Then Anne Buscher and Marika Meoli added things to each other. Dimitri Vosse from In the Train. Denise Sami, she was talking live from in Maastricht. You were part of it also. And then Willem Franke from somewhere in Genk. And Inga Ertman, she read out from a book, really nice, in Latvia, so Riga in Latvia, so in English and in Latvian, which was really nice because language was always something that was present, because there were always questions. They were never answered. Sometimes they were answered, but they were free to use their own language. It was really liberating in a way.
Nice.
So far, my reading.
Perfect. Thank you very much for all this information. It's a lot of artists participating. That's really great. Yes.
When I wrote you, it was the previous time. And then I wrote you saying something that I would write to everyone, but in a different way. I was talking about the essence of the art school. And I always wanted to add what is the society, the meaning of an art school in society. But then always I tried to minimalize my writing because I never wanted to influence the people asking questions. And sometimes this caused confusion, because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be as clear, as free as possible, as open as possible. But that meant that I was also not very specific. I would always ask, could you participate in asking a question, raising a question, and questioning the essence of an art school in any language, in any form. Have you thought about art
Yeah.
school lately?
Yeah, it's like I think the question, I have two questions, because I have one question talking about the art school in my own country, and another question which is it's kind of similar, but it's about the art schools when you study the masters, for example, when you come abroad from your country, when you travel abroad, and in my case I end up in the Netherlands, and what happens also when you graduate from an art school but from the masters, no? So the questions are quite similar, because it's like how much the art school should be involved when the students are, for example, done with their studies, no? So yeah, in Peru is kind of also like that. How can actually the university get more involved in order of what it's going to be? How are they going to follow what's going to happen with the student when it's over, no? Their studies. So, for example, making kind of like a comparison in what happens here when you study the bachelor and what happens in Peru, is like here they take it, I think it a bit more serious in the fact that you have an internship. So you know what it is to work as an artist, for example. But in Peru, it's just you study, and you studied for 6 years, at least in my university. So it's kind of like, or there's people that if they fail, it's like studying art is like studying medicine, 8 years, 10 years. But then there is no internship. So then you finish university, and then, okay, it's your problem, bye. You find your way. So how can you make connections? How can you actually make the being an artist something profitable for you to live from? No, that's the question that I always it always came out of my mind. And also the fact, in my case, I finished in exactly 6 years. So then I was practically living in university, studying from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening, living there. And then, okay, bye, you are free in life. So then I was like, yeah, but I don't know how it is to be in the outside world, you know? So then you need to find the ways yourself. But why not is like, we are going to prepare you of what's coming. Okay, we prepare you being tough. So saying to you like, what you're doing is bad, or what you're doing is good, or life is like this. Yes, I'm prepared to accept critics, but I'm not prepared to go to the real world and say, hey, I'm an artist, what can I do now? No. So that was my open question when I finished my bachelor's in Peru. No.
Is
Yeah.
this because you called it a university?
Yes, I studied in a university. So in Peru, you have, at least in Lima, you have three. Lima is the capital, so you have three big entities. You have Católica University, which has an art school. So you study arts in the same level. You have a university level. So you have theoretical classes. And my university was called Católica. So in that time, for example, you had to take the course of theology and all these kind of things in order to finish, and math. So you have the same level of a university. And then you have Corriente Alterna, which is an institute. So it's more like a school. So then you go there and you basically only study arts. Of course, you have theory, but it's not as hard as university. And then you have La Escuela de Bellas Artes, which is like the art school itself, which also has theory, but it's a national university. It's not private as Corriente Alterna and Católica.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to Católica, so I studied there. And yeah, it was university, so that's why I call it university. So yeah, that was the difference, no?
but I asked it because I believe there is a difference in practicalities, or in,
Yeah.
let's say in Belgium, you have university college
Mm-hmm.
for the arts,
Yeah.
and it is linked with a university. That's why it has this same academic weight, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But in theory, let's say it is as heavy as a practical bachelor.
Yeah.
And the academic bachelor is a little bit more theoretical, but in the essence, most of it is very practical still.
Mm-hmm.
And in Holland, there are, I believe, only practical. I mean,
Yeah.
practical.
HBO,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Yes.
So they should be, I'm not saying they are, but they should be more practically based. And the internship is one, at least one outcome that makes it more practically based.
Yeah.
I I do believe that inside school, inside the art school, there is not enough, um, um, let's say, focus on the practicalities of the outside. But
Mm-hmm.
then you could say, then there is the internship where you do meet these challenges of the outside world
Yes.
in a sort of protected way. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, at the HKU, you study at the HBO, but you have this internship opportunity, no?
Mhm.
But yeah, in my university, it's like, because also in Peru, this thing of like, if you study most of the time, no, especially in a private university, if you study, you don't have like this way of seeing of I study and I also work. Here, for example, you can study and you can work at Horeca, and like that you make money. So then at least you know how it is to work. But at least in the time when I studied, because later on it changed a bit, it was like literally studying. Sometimes I was having theoretical classes at 8 in the morning, then practical from 10 till 1, a break of 1 hour, then from 2 till 5, and then from 5 till 8 another practical hour. So then we were studying from 8 in the morning till 8 in the evening. So yeah, there's no way for you to know what it is to actually work, no?
Mhm.
So it's like practically in those 6 years you just need to study, and then that's when your family helps you to support yourself and those kind of things. But there isn't any there is a connection, of course, with the outside world, but no, like when you finish university, it's just like, okay, now you're free, your business.
Mhm.
So
What
yeah.
happens? What happens to those people that come out of university? I mean, like you say, you have no feeling with society.
Yeah.
But what actually happens to them? What do most of them do after university?
In my case, I graduated exactly in 6 years, so I didn't have to I didn't fail any course, so I didn't have to repeat anything.
Mhm.
So I was immediately out of the university to the real world, and then I was like, oh my god. And for 6 months, yeah, in terms of my dad, for example, he helped me. My parents, they helped me a lot, like my mom and my dad, and they said, okay, there's going to be an atelier for you to work, but this is the amount of money that you're going to receive. For example, I don't know, yeah, 30 soles per week, which is like 10 euros.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, nice, but how am I going to live? But at least I had an atelier. So then I was like, yeah, maybe giving classes, maybe doing this, maybe doing that. So then for 6 months, I was getting crazy because I was like, oh my God, I need to find my way. And then I luckily found a job as an art teacher on a high school. So I worked there for 3 years until I moved to the Netherlands to study the master's. So
Mhm.
that was I was quite lucky by finding this job that actually helped me to, yeah, pay my own expenses, live my life and stuff, and plus the atelier. So then I was able to also work as an artist, you know. But yeah, working as an art teacher is really consuming as well, no, because you need to dedicate time in teaching, and teaching kids and teenagers is really nice, but also it's really energy absorbing, no.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's a price that you need to pay. But there's other people that, yeah, they try their best to work just as entrepreneurs or like artists and then start getting into something. Or I have friends that also they open ceramic ateliers or ceramic mini companies in order to sustain themselves and then also work as an artist. Others just travel abroad. They immediately went to do a master's or do something. So yeah, that's the way you need to find it, no? So by teaching or those kind of things, but yeah.
What do you do now? Like, what is the studies you do now?
Yeah, I came then to the Netherlands and I already graduated. For example, Bettina Habib, I studied with her.
Yeah.
We both studied the Masters of Scenography at the HKU. And yeah, it was really nice actually, those 2 years. So I graduated from sculpture, well, fine arts, but it's like fine arts mentioned in sculpture. So you need to choose what's your artist title, kind of, to say it like this. So yeah, I graduated from sculpture. And then, yeah, I did this master's, I graduated from it. But then also now the question gets a bit more complex because it's more like, in terms of Bettina and I, for example, she's from Lebanon, I'm from Peru. So we are not Europeans. So in our case, it's like we pay a fee that it's 3 times more expensive than a European student, for example. However, you graduate from the master's and then it's like, yeah, thank you very much for coming to the Netherlands, but whatever happens to you is not our business, no? So then you need to find because yeah, it's 2 years, sounds like short, but then what if you want to stay? What if you find your life in this country and you actually say like, yeah, artistically, I really like it, I have connections, I want to stay. You cannot just take that decision because there's a visa involved that says to you, okay, return back to your country, thank you very much, no? We give you a sukyar, kind of like a present, but if in the sukyar you don't accomplish what you need in order to continue with the visa, yeah, you need to sadly return back, no? Even though if you feel that your time in the Netherlands or whatever in Europe is not over. So yeah, there's this question that arises in which what happens with international students, no? It's not like, yeah, of course, it's better for you as an institution to bring international students abroad from Europe because, yeah, we have to pay more and stuff. So financially, it works. But what we get in return, no? So is there any facility? Is there any possibility of like, yeah, connect a network? Hey, this is the ways that you can apply for an artist visa. So then, yeah, it's still my responsibility, of course. So, but at least there should be some guidance in which they say this, and these are the things that you need to do in order to get into the artistic visa, and then you can develop your knowledge here, no? What you learn. But that's something that is actually missing. And also this networking, no? So yeah, those are like the questions that I have.
Now I am realizing that indeed universities or art schools are really helpful in approving anything that is involved in having students enter their schools. And that they are easy in letting go students, but that help after being graduated is missing or lacking. Yeah, and that this aftercare could be much more. I mean, now the aftercare of a school is possibly that you can still use the ateliers for at least 1 year after you graduated. And obviously you have a sort of a network that is a part of that school, but there is no program of this aftercare. I mean, there is no really actual program saying that you can follow perhaps entrepreneur classes, or indeed have a place where you can ask questions related to your visa or to your continuation of studies or whatever. It stops somehow. They they, I think they are very much focused on having more students because they possibly get grants related to the number of students. I think it's also funny because of the previous sessions. Now I'm getting these tiny insights and these words I'm writing down that indeed aftercare could and should be more, and that the care maybe inside school could be less. For sure, in Belgium, there is an overload of classes. You have to follow class from the morning till the evening late, and there are very loaded programs of study, like perhaps the same in your 6th year in Lima. So an overload of care, which could be less, because to me, my question is, what is university or university college or academy? What is the essence of an art school? Should it protect and have people just play inside it and experiment and learn on their own and interact with people that have knowledge and experience? But should this program be less? And should the program outside school, after school, be more? Meaning practicalities, more technical things, because you have developed a direction, you have developed a focus on with your project or with your skills, with your own skills. You have developed a direction, and then someone else also said the urgency enters, the urgency to need things. These are insights that are coming after this series. What would you do to give value to all this knowledge? Meaning, we have recorded all these questions, the variety of languages. They are really interesting questions that are raised, or there is knowledge. What would you do with this knowledge? What it would be useful?
With this knowledge, I think there should be a way that at least the artists, that we all think the same of what's gonna be in terms of the caring of the student when art schools, when you are graduated from an art school, is actually to somehow let them know. Because for example, there's the headmasters of our masters. We said to her, like, hey, actually we would like to be more connected in the scenography networking and stuff. And she said, like, yeah, but if you don't let me know, I really don't know. No, so it's kind of crazy, because it's like, yeah, I think it should be something that you also think about. But yeah, it's also understandable, because in their cases, it's like something finishes and then new students come and then they have to give the same, no? So it's kind of like a looping. But there should be a way in which we say, like, hey, in that looping, we all also fit, no? We should also fit. So for example, in our case, it's like Bettina and I, we said, like, yeah, let's have a conversation with all the alumni. So then we can all together raise our questions and say, like, hey, hello, we want to be present. We want to create a networking. We want to be helped in this and this and this and these ways, as international students, as European students, but also alumni, international alumni, sorry, European alumni, and yeah, and about to become alumni, no? What's gonna happen? So then I think if as a group you say, like, hey, these are the things that we actually need, but we really need them, then I think it might work, no? To say, by the way, we are aware of this and we want a change. Because also what normally happens is, like, yeah, in everything, I think that we say, like, yeah, I'm annoyed by this and this. But then you complain, but then you continue with your life. And then if there is not a change happening, then okay, you're complaining, but you need to do something with that I don't know, with that annoying feeling, no? So something should happen, and if there's a way to make it change at least a bit, that helps a lot, I guess.
But how do you change art schools?
I don't know. That's creating a new one. I have no idea. Maybe yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Creating a new one in which is like all these I don't know, important questions can be it can be based in this kind of like important questions of taking care of the artist, I think. Because yeah, you could say like, yeah, you're an adult, no? You're outside, you're out in the world, it's your business, it's like every career. But yeah, studying I don't know, economy or being a lawyer or whatever is not the same as being an artist, because sadly, even though you are in Europe, because I thought it would be different, it's easier than in Peru. But even though the first things that get cut when something happens, like for example COVID, are the cultural stuff. So then it's not as easy as other careers that, yeah, okay, I find a job, I can work from my house, everything's going to be fine. No, because as an artist, if the funds are cut, if the museums are cut, if festivals and everything, then what can you do? There's no job for you. So then we need to take into account that it's, if normally without a pandemic, for example, is hard, now with the pandemic it's even harder. So I think this thing of taking care of the artist, creating a networking, and yeah, that's something that should actually work, no? And also in terms of the, I don't know, the institutions that you have to apply to. I feel now that you have to be more a writer than an artist, no? Because everything is, you spend all your life, like, not all your life, I'm exaggerating, but all your time lately writing applications. So yeah, I didn't study art to be behind the computer typing what I want to do. No, I just want to do. I want people to see it. I want to be accepted. So there's also this thing of how art is seen, no, like really elitist and really closed. I feel in Europe is more open, but in Peru is more like you have like tiny circles. So Peru is a really like there's a lot of centralism. So this is Peru, this is Lima, the art world, so everything is inside of inside of inside of inside. So then I was also not so agreeing with that. That's why I decided I want to go to Europe, that it's more like open, people are more open as well to collaborate, to help each other. Because yeah, I don't agree, but I understand how things work in Peru, because it's like in Lima, for example, you have only, I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 museums, contemporary art museums. You have like 3, something like that. And okay, in total, you would have 10. But if you talk about fine arts contemporary, you have like, I don't know, 3, 4 museums. And then the ones who run the artist world are the galleries. But the galleries are really close. No, so if you don't find your way to get inside of the gallery, then you are not connected. So then artists are really close. No, what I get is mine, I don't share with you, and then I look for my way. And yeah, I don't know, I like it here. I think there is less, there's more artistical stuff, even though it's hard. So then you have this possibility of like, yeah, I'm applying here, but I can also tell to you like, hey Pablo, there's this application, do you want to apply to, for example? So then we can both apply. Maybe you get it, maybe I get it, but then you know that there's another possibility in somewhere else that I can get in, or maybe you as well, or maybe only me. So there's different possibilities, no? But yeah, it's, I think this being thing of being close is I don't know. I don't even remember what I was mentioning this, but yeah, I think it's important to say it as well. So yes.
Do you think art schools are to be blamed for not having artists seen as valuable as they should be seen by society?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, because I think if you are an, I don't know, if I would be an art institution, I would get more in touch with the fact of galleries and museums and say, hey, there's these artists, they are doing this, accept more, make some these, like, I don't know, create more connections. I don't know necessarily responsible, but they can do a bit more about it, no? So yeah, they do. In our masters, we didn't have the opportunity last year because of COVID, but they do, for example, pitches, no? That there's from different festivals, and they come and they see your, they listen to you, they see your work, and they say, oh, I'm interested. Okay, I want to work with you. So yeah, but it's something that should happen more, no? There's a connection, and you know what's happening, you know how to apply, you know. So for example, what Jessica Capra does with the artists and the others, I think that works really well, no? Because like how to write a statement, how to do a residency, how to do this. Because yeah, you actually don't know necessarily. In art schools, you don't learn how to do these basic things, no? Or at least I didn't have the opportunity to learn. I don't know how it works here.
Don't you think that art schools, just as same as musea or art institutes, get funding to do the stuff that Jessica does?
Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe they get funding, but I don't know why they don't do it, no? Because I think it's essential. It's really important for you to learn these basic tools, no?
What do you think about this word essential? What more is essential for art schools to do?
What more is essential? Yeah, I think essential is, for example, something insanely essential is, I think the HKU does it, but I don't know if other universities does it. At least I didn't learn this in my university. It's like how to put value on your art piece, for example, no? So you work as in my case, as a sculptress, I make a sculpture, but how do I know if I'm overpricing my artwork or if I'm giving it for too cheap? How do I actually give value to the things that I'm doing in terms of price, in terms of, yeah, I want to sell this, I want to live from this. How do you do it? I'm still with the same question. I have no idea. Sometimes people ask me, yeah, how much is this? And I'm like, yeah, I need to guess or say like, yeah, well, I graduated from here and there's kind of like but I really don't know, no? How can you place a price on what you're doing?
In some music schools, like popular music schools, there is a system where the bachelors are made in a sort of triangular relationship. You have the musicians as one, you have the technicians as two, and the people behind the producers, the technical people, the light, etc. And then you also have the managers, the agents. So this bachelor is split up in three things. The artist, let's say, is not everything in one person. The artist is there, and then you have an artist being more technical, and then you have an agent who sees the art and sees the value of the art and builds bridges to concerts, to venues, to recordings, etc.
Like a manager, kind of.
You could say that this is something that is missing in art schools, that people expect something that isn't realistic, and that the artist is able to or should sell his own work, where there is a much better example in perhaps music, where you do work with a split personality, let's say, where there is separately a manager or an agent, which implies collaborating.
Yeah, I think also us as artists, we should stop having this way of thinking of like, I can do everything. I can be my own accountant, I can be my own writer, I can be my own seller, no. I think the fact of being a bit like, yeah, I need to delegate, no, that helps a lot. And if it would be something more horizontal way of thinking of like, yeah, I just gonna dedicate myself to just produce. I produce, and then I know that I have someone that is gonna do the other things for me and the other way around, no? Because there's also people that, yeah, they like to be involved in art, but they like more the way of production. like curators and artists, no?
Mhm.
So you study to be a curator, you still related to art, but there should be kind of like a connection between it, no? I don't know, it might sound a bit stupid, but I was, for example, the reggaeton singers, no? Like it's kind of like the same. They all sing together, and then at the end of the song they say their names, and they all win the same, but they help each other, no? So they are all equally famous. So why, in terms of artists, we just need to, well, find artists. We just need to stop thinking of this like, yeah, I want to shine alone. No, why? We should all help each other, so then everyone can get into some spot, no? I don't know, that's my way of like seeing it, I guess. I like more, for example, now I like a lot to collaborate. I like to work with other artists. Yeah.
There was this yeah, someone on the radio was saying he is the director of an orchestra. I think between somewhere in Holland and somewhere in Austria, I think. And it was an afternoon show, a podcast sort of. And he was saying that we somehow haven't been able to give art the right position in society, in politics even. And he said that perhaps, or for example, the Brexit situation, meaning England separated itself from Europe, would never have happened if arts would be in a position that would influence politics, for example. Let's say if art would be first and I don't know, internal affairs second and external affairs third or something like that. Could art find ways to include, to find solutions where other forms of politics haven't been able to? I don't know.
Yeah, I think yes, no, because art is, at least, yeah, it's really political. You always like have something to say with it, no? Even though you say like, yeah, no, it's only for me. Yeah, art is always political somehow, no? So yeah, but it should definitely have the importance in order to say like, yeah, I'm gonna listen through art. Or it's like what you said, I don't know, made me think of like, again, the pandemic, no? People actually survived this pandemic because they had Netflix to watch, they had music to listen, they had like a painting to watch in front of their wall, at least to see something different, or a sculpture or something. So then actually art is something essential that you need, no? But then in terms of like giving the importance as an institution and saying it's the least, because now making also an example of the Netherlands, no, everything is open now, okay, but what's the last thing that is opening? Museums, for example, no? Festivals, okay, makes sense, but yeah, but why is not also important? It's something that should be also considered, but it's not happening. And then is where you see what's the order of importance, no? And then in these terms, art comes the least.
If you look at art schools and the volume of students and teachers they occupy, you could say they have a certain power. They have an energy and they have a volume of people that is trained to raise questions, to be political, to be anarchistic, to be activistic, and still art and art schools haven't been able to bundle forces, to be an energy. So where does it go wrong? I wonder. How come our schools are so separated, are so competitive, are so not one in a country?
Yeah.
They, as And they could be one. Why?
Yeah, it's something that I also, because I think they see it, they need to stop seeing it as a business. Because I feel that they see it as like, okay, students come and students go, continue with the looping. That's how it works. But whatever happens afterwards is not our business. They already graduated. Okay, bye. But if they would take more considerate of what happens afterwards, then I think, I don't know, okay, it can continue a business, but also the alumni can help to make it arise, no, be better. There's a connection with it. But I think that's something that it's missing. Something that for me was really nice was like this exhibition of the fine art students here in the Netherlands. I don't know if you heard about it, the All In graduates. That students who graduated last year from different art schools in the Netherlands, they all had an exhibition in Hurtado. So then you didn't see, oh yeah, it's the exhibition of the HKU student or of the Rickfield Academy students. It was like the all-in graduates, all of them together having an exhibition, all of them together having the same shown opportunity, no? Yeah. So yeah, it's something that should, but it was, I think it came that from initiative of students, not necessarily from the universities, and they look for the funding and they look for this. But why not the university say, hey, we all should do it together, we all need to be to have the same exposure, no? Because yeah, they, universities or art schools, they use the students for publicity, no, or like, oh my god, show your work, because yeah, we want to call other students. But yeah, at the end, I don't know. Sometimes I feel, yes, I got a lot of things that I artistically that I know and knowledge and stuff from university or the art school. But then I did also things myself. I have to fight. I have to look for it. I have to get my connections. I have to get a lot. But then, yeah, you say graduated from this, and then just by placing the name of the university or art school there, they get the publicity and they think we have done enough. Actually, no, I look for things myself. So then why, I don't know, they should get all the credit when actually it's not necessarily happening, no? So that's also something like, if you want to get credit from it, if you want to say like, hey, yeah, these successful artists came out from here, then do something more about it, no? So then you feel more proud of like, yeah, I graduated from here. This helped me a lot. They actually followed my process. I know that tons of students graduate, so it's quite hard to follow the process of each of them individually. But at least, I don't know, find a pattern that, even though it's not individual, makes you feel that, yeah, there's someone that is actually, that you can rely on, no, in some way. By the knowledge, by at least by before finishing the art school, that you learn some steps, like basically by just knowing how to write a residency application, how to do this, how to do that, how to apply to a residency visa, how to like an artist visa, how also these kind of things, that at least you have the tools, and then okay, but you learn that and you know how you are, you're facing, no, you're facing to, because we need to stop romanticizing the fact of like, yeah, I'm gonna study art, it's so nice, I'm gonna be an artist, and this ideal situation of like, yeah, I'm gonna make sculptures all my life and then I'm gonna live from that and then sell. Yeah, that's not the case, no. Yeah, there's of course a percentage of artists that only live and work from art, but that's not, at least in the beginning, that's not necessarily always the case, no. So
I
yeah.
think it would be impossible to include all the wishes or all the critics of all the ideas into one ideal art school. But maybe this is also something that is missing, that there is enough difference between art schools, meaning art schools are overseen by government and they say, you have to reach this level and you have to follow this kind of plan, and then you are an official art school. But maybe this would be, besides the good idea of creating a new art school, that there would be a variety of new art schools that would differ completely. That some art schools would um, focus completely on the philosophy or the political part, but still try to collaborate as much as possible with the management or the entrepreneurship as an external collaborator. And that other art schools would say, no, I mean, there needs to be an entrepreneur inside the artist. And that on its own would already be a huge difference, that you would need to collaborate or that you would be able to do everything yourself. Both are very realistic options, but both imply a different character of the person. One person likes to collaborate, the other person actually rather do everything by himself. So having enough differences in the essence of an art school, in the practical production of an art school, would already also make a difference, because then you would say, I would rather go to that school because that's black and white difference with the other school, and this is more me.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because I think the problem is like art schools should stop being seen as business, because with other careers it might work, no, but there's also more job opportunities and there's also other ways of managing. But I think art school is seen different in the fact that it's more practical, but also as in essence, as how you said, should be a differentiation of like, this university has this and this and this, so that's why I apply here, and the other one has this and this and this, so that's why I go there. So of course that should happen. For example, in my university in Lima, was really nice that you had 2 years of general studies. So that was exactly the same for every career, no? So you have the faculty of Generales Letras, which was like generals for like, well, how can I translate this? For the thing of like language things, more like, like for example, literature, philosophy, sociology, blah, blah, blah. They go to there. Then you have general sciences, which is Generales Ciencias, and then you study there the engineering careers, and I don't know, math, and these kind of like scientific, more scientific careers. And then you had Generales Artes, which was like the general studies related to arts, no, separated from dance, for example. So in which I really also don't understand, because I would just mix them all, to be honest. So then there we had this opportunity of like, in my case, for example, I got accepted to study, I forgot, industrial design. So I was like, I'm gonna be an industrial designer. So I was there, and then in the second year I was like, of course I'm not gonna be an industrial designer. I was like, I work more with error, no? So you cannot say like, I'm gonna design a shoe and it end up being a refrigerator. That doesn't work in terms of design, no? You need to just follow rules, and everything should be really exact, like really precise, sorry. So then I said like, I like more sculpture. So then I had this opportunity to go to another line in arts, no? So I don't know, in art schools, for example, if you would have also that more of like how to decide of how you want to lead your career, no? Like, I start in a general way, but then I go because I want to work individual. Then I want to learn more about how to apply to residencies, or I want to learn more how to make my business, how to make it more an artistic business. So then in those terms, I think you should also have this possibility of decide which one is going to be your path, no? So then you end up with knowing things that you actually need. Because if I don't want to, I want to be an artist, but I don't want to work as an artist to a gallery, then why am I learning the same of the other one who wants to do the same? I don't know if I'm clear. So no, but if I want to take it more into a business thing, then why I'm not learning more how to make it work more like as a business, no? So then if there's differentiations of how to learn, I think that would help a lot, I guess. Yeah.
And a pick and choose trajectory. Also wondering how come we never met inside school, meaning if you would have choreography and the studies I did, I would never have been able to meet you. And we had to be outside school to be sort of directed into one platform, and there we were able to meet each other. So how restricting, how limiting art schools actually are because of competitors. One school doesn't collaborate with another because of the collaborative facility of countries, meaning my country, your country, not having any connection at all. All these reasons showing that art schools are in essence so much the contrary of what they say that art students need to become: free and collaborative.
Yeah, actually yes.
So when will we collaborate then?
Yeah, I think that's also something that they should, because I think in a really unconscious way you learn how to be really close to yourself, no? So this is like the people from university, the things that I do, and I share with someone that it's gonna actually give me something that I want. But why it's not like I just share because I share, no? And then that's how you meet people. So yeah, I don't know, sometimes I feel it's also like these artist egos, no, that you have to fight for like against, sorry. So that goes way beyond the artistic institution, but I think the art institution should be able to say like, hello, I'm gonna just, I don't know, pinch your bubble and say like, yeah, it's not like this, actually the world works like this, it's not. Be more open. So yeah, it starts also with this competition between universities, and then afterwards competition between artists. So yeah, at least I feel it that here in Europe it's a bit more open because you have more opportunities, no, it's more broad. But even though still this, no, like for example the fact of applying to residencies like that are really big, like the Rijks Academy or the Atelier or the Jan van Eyck as well, no? They are really selective, and it's kind of like winning the lottery, so you never know. But at the same time, if you know someone there, maybe you get a chance. So still really like elitist, really close. That's also a thing. The art is really elitist. So yeah,
there is a place called Maison Florida in Hasselt, where I live, part of the school, an organization that I lead, which is non-selective, which is open, which always has a place for artists or creates a space. I think I do believe that we, with our space, with our research, we contribute a little bit, a tiny bit, to a sort of counter movement of the elitist, the selective, the curated, the excluding world of art schools and art period now. So it's a tiny contribution, I hope, that we can give. Yeah. But again, I ask the question again: when shall we collaborate, you and me?
When shall we
collaborate?
I don't know. We can always do it, no? I think it depends also this think of collaboration like if you have an idea and then I like it, then I say like, hey, we can do something together. Let's collaborate and create something, no? So yeah. So it's just a matter of always having a conversation and also always being willing to share your practice somehow. Because I don't know, sometimes I have these stupid conversations of like also like this battle of egos or really being close of like, yeah, hey, what are you doing? So then you say like, yeah, I'm doing this and this and this. And you ask, and you, yeah, I'm doing some stuff. So then it's like, okay, nice. So it feels like, yeah, this person is stealing my ideas, but it doesn't want to share. Yeah, fuck. So then I think should be more like an open dialogue of like, yeah, I'm researching in this and this and this. And then you say like, yeah, I'm also doing this, or maybe not, but then maybe in some way in, I don't know, months or years, we just cross paths. So then we can collaborate and then something really nice can happen, no? I don't know. I really like this kind of thing of collaboration. So then I know what you're doing, you know what I'm doing. So then we just keep each other in mind and we know like, yeah, in some moment, maybe we can do something, no?
Very good.
Yeah. Artistically or theoretically, like now, for example, we're kind of like collaborating by exchanging ideas, no?
Absolutely.
So yeah. Yeah.
We have been collaborating for an hour now.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah.
And contributing to the lunch break. And
Yes.
this was the last edition for real.
Yeah.
Before we will either burn all the art schools or, like you said, create a new one.
Yes.
The future will tell us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for this, Silvana. I really enjoyed this conversation, this late night, past midnight conversation. What time is it now in Lima?
No, I'm now in the Netherlands. I live here.
I know, but what time?
Now in Lima. I don't know. It's 7 hours.
7 hours? 7?
I'm gonna tell you now. I have it here. Okay. World clock. 5:51.
5:51.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have nighttime conversations with people in Lima?
Yeah, sometimes yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish you all the best and a good sleep in a bit. And
yes, you too.
hope to speak you soon or perhaps do something together. We will see.
Yeah, that would be really nice. And I'm also looking forward to see like the results of all these compilations.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, I and thank you also for inviting me. And yeah, whatever you need, just you know where to find me, and let's collaborate. Let's keep collaborating. So yeah, yes.
Thank Jessica Capra for bringing us together.
Yeah, actually yes. Actually yes, that's really nice. That's also another way of networking and connecting artists. I find it really this idea of the artist and the others. I think it's really really nice. So yes. Well, thanks for your time. I'm sorry for keeping you awake too late because I got confused.
Read us one thesis now that is due for tomorrow. So
yes,
some work still.
nice. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.